most businesses have been negatively impacted by COVID-19, and also not forgetting the restrictions that have been put in place. And this has brought many small businesses to a complete standstill in certain instances. With us now, we hope to be joined by 27-year-old Ncumisa Mkabile, who is a travel and tourism operations graduate based in Cape Town, and we know how hard that sector has been hit. And we also have with us Itumeleng Lekomanyane, who is based in Johannesburg, and he is the owner of a mobile business, Sandwich King. We've spoken to him before here on Morning Live. So Itumeleng, let's start with you. Good morning. Thanks for speaking to us once more.
Thank you for having me, ma'am.
So Itumeleng, how's the sandwich business going during this lockdown?
It's been tough. It's been tough. It was like an entire 2 months of not operating. We recently just got back when level 3 started. So it has been very tough. We haven't had income for the longest of time. And being a business that we depend on a daily income, where we sell sandwiches on a daily. So it has been very difficult to actually make ends meet, with also having employees for the business, having to also pay them, making sure that they can also live throughout the lockdown period. It's been a very difficult time for us, but we've learned to live in with what we faced with at the moment.
So as you say, your employees, how many did you have at the start of the lockdown and how many do you have now?
At the beginning of lockdown, I had 4 employees, and then I've had to let go of 2. So right now I'm left with only 2.
And as to regard to the bottom line, because at the time when we spoke to you last, you spoke about 20,000 Rand a month that you were making in profits. How are things now?
Things have just gone down, it's just been downhill from ever since, we haven't even gotten any compensation. That 20,000 Rand a month has been a dream, because right now people are not at work, even if we do go out selling every morning, people are not at work, people are at home, sitting at home. So the amount of customers that we used to have are not there anymore, because we've even had to cut down on production of so many of our sandwiches. We've had to cut down on some of the stations as well, but we've been just trying to just make ends meet with what we have at the moment.
And just in terms of support from government, have you had any?
No. First, it was the compensation fund. It was that compensation fund. They say that for people who have businesses, that they must apply, and the government will help them. We didn't qualify for that one because our employees were not registered for the UIF, because we're just a new business. So we couldn't qualify for that one. Then we tried one with the NYDA, where they were promising to give entrepreneurs and small businesses 10,000 Rand for just a basic period of time. We applied for that one as well. We submitted our financials, we submitted the business registrations, everything that was needed from the business. Till today, 2 months later, we haven't had a single reply from the NYDA on what is the process. Are they going to be willing to help us or anything? But as far as I'm concerned, the government hasn't been helping us in any way whatsoever.
I believe we have Ncumisa with us as well. Now, Ncumisa, welcome. Thanks for joining the conversation. Now, you're in an industry that has been really hard hit as far as tourism goes, but you also own a poultry business. So how has that been impacted by the pandemic?
Okay, thank you so much for having me on the show. My poultry business has been affected, but then it has not been affected in a huge way, because what I do or from my side of the business is that I offer delivery services so that people do not have to go to the shops and stand in long queues of line. So that is the positive impact that I've actually had from my business, because I usually do door-to-door deliveries, and people can get their chicken at the comfort of their own home.
So in terms of the impact of COVID-19, has your business been negatively impacted, or have you actually seen a growth in business?
To be honest, to be honest, I've seen a positive impact. I've seen a positive impact because I've been getting a lot of support as well from people all over.
And it's good to hear that side of the story as well, because, you know, we've been focusing a lot on the doom, the gloom, because that is the reality for the majority of people, Ncumisa. But of course, it's good to hear that you have seen, at least in your poultry business, an increase. But you are, of course, also a tourism graduate, and we know that that industry has practically been decimated by this pandemic. So what can you tell us about what's happening there, if you are aware?
Okay. As much as I am a travel and tourism graduate, but I've never worked at the tourism industry because of lack of job opportunities. So I've always hustled like any other person who has matric. So I've never actually been on the tourism industry as much as I'm a graduate.
Well, just as a final word, a parting shot from both of you, very briefly, you know, what advice do you have for people operating small businesses, entrepreneurs at this point? 15 seconds, Ncumisa and then Itumeleng.
Okay, so what I can actually do is, what I advise all the young people or the youth or everyone who wants to start their own business to start small and gradually grow. So that is what that's the only advice that I can give to my people.
Itumeleng? Okay. We seem to be struggling with Itumeleng's audio there. And that, unfortunately, is where we are going to have to leave it, giving you a very real perspective there on what the impact of this pandemic has been on real small businesses, positive on the one hand and absolutely negative on the other hand.